Do you think dogs only know how to say thank you by wagging their tail? Not quite. Out there, there's an old man living quietly in a small house. 6 winters ago, he lost the wife he loved most. Since then, he speaks very little. But every evening when the lamp in the living room has grown dim, his dog Duke quietly lies down at his feet. In the same spot, quiet as always. No words are spoken, yet everything has been said. He never demanded gratitude. Yet Duke still sends his thank you in its own way, by presence, by a gaze, by the warmth around his lonely owner's feet. And your dog is doing the same every day. Dogs don't say thank you in human words. They say it by action. Tiny gestures, moments that seem so ordinary but carry so much feeling. A slow sideways glance, a soft nudge with the nose, a quiet breath beside you, a sleep turn toward the door. 10 of those small things. Those are the 10 ways dogs say thank you to humans, not with words, but with their hearts. And once you recognize it, you will never look at your dog the same way again. Part 1. The Sacred Gift. The old toy. You sit in a chair, your coffee cup cooling in your hand. Outside, the wind is still, the TV plays low-key news. Then suddenly your dog slowly comes over, carrying in its mouth an old toy worn at the edges, drool-marked, and places it softly at your feet. You smile quietly, bend down, pick it up, toss it aside as habit. Maybe you think it simply wants to play. But no, this is not so simple. That toy, to you, it's just an old thing, but to it, it's a treasure. It's inseparable companion, something cherished for so long. And today it brings that to you, places it into your care with all the trust it has. That is not an invitation to play. That is its way of saying, you matter to me. I'm grateful for you. Behavior experts call this affiliative behavior. But to those of us who truly love dogs, we understand that it's a thank you hidden in an act. Dogs don't use words to say thank you. They say it by a gift, by the simplest object in their loyal world. You may not remember anything special you did today. Maybe you just refilled their water bowl or spoke softly when they made a mistake. But they remember. And when they place that old toy at your feet, that's their declaration: I know, I feel it, and I am grateful. Don't rush to throw that toy away. Don't dismiss it as play. Because in their eyes, that toy is sacred, a symbol of gratitude they cannot speak. And if you pay attention, you will see after each such gift, there is a small story of love. Because sometimes a dog's gratitude doesn't lie in a bark, but in an old toy set gently at your feet. Part 2. The Kiss After the Meal. Have you ever noticed what happens right after your dog finishes eating? Not 5 minutes later. Not after they've rested, but immediately after licking the last drop of sauce from the bowl. At that moment, with belly full, they turn and seek you, slowly, gently, and then a soft lick on your hand or a gentle nose touch to your forearm. Many of us might think, oh, it wants more food. But that's not it. That is how they say, thank you for the meal. Behavior researchers say this action originates in puppyhood, when puppy dogs lick their mother's face after feeding. Not to ask for more milk, but to show attachment and gratitude. When grown, they never drop the habit. Only the subject changes. Now you become mother in their little circle, the source of safety, the warmth they trust. That light lick after a meal isn't a habit, it's a ritual of thanks. A gesture so simple yet full of memory and emotion. And what's remarkable, the dog never forgets those who provide for it and care for it. Next time when you wash their dish and see they come closer, don't push them away. Let them touch your hand just for a moment. Because in that moment, you've just received a thank you in the language of the heart. Don't skip that moment. Because it's not just the kiss after dinner, it's the way they say, I am happy because I have you. Part 3. The Silent Shadow. You step from the living room into the kitchen. Your dog rises and quietly follows. You go into the bathroom, the door closes. When you open it again, there it is lying quietly at the threshold, just like a shadow. You did not call, you did not coax. It just followed you, step by step. Many will think that's just routine or because it expects food or attention, but the truth is sweeter. Dogs aren't following you for benefit. They follow out of gratitude. Researchers call this seeking proximity, the need to be near the person they trust most. But if you've lived long with a dog, you'll understand it's more than seeking closeness. It's seeking you. It doesn't just feel safe when near you. It feels that you make the world safe. Every step you take, it wants to orbit around you like a small planet around the only star it trusts. No call, no reward necessary. Just being where you are is enough. That is not dependence. That is how it says, I am grateful you are here. And I want to be by your side no matter what. Because to it, loyalty isn't instinct. It is a silent thank you repeated every day in the rhythm of your footsteps. And occasionally, you don't need to say a word. Just look back, see it there, and you will understand that one small creature is saying, thank you for giving me a place to belong. Part 4. The guard's sleep night falls. The house subsides into stillness. You lie down. The amber light falls softly on the wooden floor. In the corner of the room, your dog curls up. It seems to be sleeping, but if you observe closely, its ears still twitch, its eyes half closed. It's not sleeping deeply. It's standing guard. It could choose a softer chair or a warmer corner, but it chooses to lie near you between you and the door. Not by chance. That is the spot of a guardian, a silent soldier watching over the one it loves. You protected it all day, you fed it, stroked it, soothed it when thunder roared. Now it repays you, not with gifts, not with words, but with presence. It sleeps, but only half of its body is at rest. The other half remains ready for anything that might come. For humans, that is just a sleep. But for it, it's a promise: I will not allow anything to touch the one I love while they sleep. And maybe it is at that moment your eyes close, but another pair of eyes remain open, not out of fear, but out of love. That night, you sleep deep, and it lies there, its guards rest, light still waiting. And sometimes just knowing that is enough to soften our heart. Part 5. The slow blink. Have you ever been sitting quietly, your mind drifting somewhere else, and then noticed your dog's eyes looking at you? Not the eager look asking for a walk, nor the expecting gaze for food, but a quiet look, gentle, steady, and then slowly it blinks. Once, very softly. You might think it's sleepy. But no, that moment is no accident. That is how a dog says, I am calm because you are here. I trust you. Behavior scientists call this the trust gaze. When a dog looks at you for a long time with mild eyes and slow blink, it's a sign of deep connection. It doesn't have to jump into your lap, lick your hand, just a blink, and the world is warm. That slow blink is like a small thank you sent quietly. It is not saying, thank you for feeding me. It says, thank you for being here, because you make me feel safe. If the next time you meet that gaze, don't look away. Blink back slowly just once. That is your way of responding, I trust you too. No words, no grand gesture. Just two beings facing each other, sharing a slow blink, and between them flows gratitude, love, a bond that words cannot touch. And from that small moment you will realize a dog's love is not loud. It only needs a glance to say everything. Part 6. The gentle nose. Touch. 1. Quiet evening, you've just patted your dog behind the ear. It's drifting into doze head, tilted, savoring each second. You stop, stretch your arm, just about to move away, and then a small talk, a soft nudge with the nose on your arm. It doesn't bark, doesn't demand. It just touches you gently, just enough for you to turn your head. Many will think that's play me or pet me more. The reality is more subtle. That soft nudge is how it says, thank you. Do a little more. I like this. That nudge isn't a random act. It is emotional feedback. Like a friend giving your shoulder a soft tap after a long story, no words, but enough to say, I appreciate that. Dogs live by feeling. They sense your heartbeat, your breath, the subtle shift in every move you make. So when they touch you with their nose, gentle as a musical note, it isn't just affection. It's gratitude sent forth, wrapped in a brief touch, yet immensely meaningful. Often those nudges come in the most peaceful moments, after you've patted them after a long day, or simply when you sit quietly and your mind is a little worn. And just when you thought you were all alone, it nudges you again as if saying, I'm here. I understand. And thank you for still being here. Don't overlook that moment, because in the dog's world, a small nudge can replace 1,000 words of love they cannot speak. Part 7. The quiet lean. Dogs don't always say thank you by wagging their tail or by a joyful bark. Sometimes they just quietly walk over, no bark, no fuss, then lean softly on your leg. Not heavy, not forced, just enough for you to feel their warmth through your clothes. A quiet lean so subtle that if you didn't notice, you might think it's accidental. But no, it isn't. In the dog's world, leaning is a sign of absolute trust. In nature, dogs lean on each other to keep warm, to share the feeling of safety in cold nights. When they lean on you, it means you are their pack, the one they come to when they need strength, when they need a heart that listens without words. Sometimes that lean comes after a long day. Maybe you didn't say a thing, but it knows you're tired. It simply comes over quietly, places its weight on your leg as if saying, "It's okay, I'm here." That lean isn't a request, it's a thank you. A thank you for being their support literally and figuratively. Behavior scientists call this comfort behavior, a natural soothing action. But if you ask any dog lover, they'll say something different. It's the moment your heart softens because you realize the truest love often comes from a creature that cannot lie. So next time it leans against you, quietly don't move away. Sit still, take a deep breath, and let you both stay silent in that warmth. Because for it, that's not just leaning on you, it's saying, "Thank you, because I know I belong here." And when that stillness fades, sometimes it bursts into surprising joy, like that little heart just can't hold its emotion anymore. Part 8. The Joy Burst. You open the door and before you can say anything, your dog shoots out like a gust of wind. 4 legs spin around, running circles, mouth open as if it's smiling, tail wagging so wildly it seems about to fly off. The rug gets tossed, your slippers get knocked to the side, and you just stand there stunned and smiling. People call that zoomies, those sudden bursts of fun from dogs. But behind that chaos lies a very beautiful message. It's how it says thank you in the most joyful, pure, and sincere way. That running frenzy isn't because it's too energetic. It's the emotion bursting out joy that couldn't be contained because it felt loved, safe, free to be itself. Dogs only zoom like that with someone they truly trust, because only when it feels totally safe does it dare to let go and show its full happiness. Look carefully. Those bursts often follow very small moments after you say good boy, after you walk together, or simply after you come home from a long day. To it, every time you open the door is a miracle. Every return is a cry of thank goodness you're here. And when it runs around you, eyes bright, breath, heavy, heart pounding, that isn't silliness. It is a dance of gratitude, a thank you sent out by the purest joy only a dog can give. So next time it runs, circles like it's lost control, don't shout. Smile. Because in every spin, every wildly wagging tail, it's shouting, "I love you and thank you for giving me the chance to feel this happy." Part 9. The Nest. Scented with you. Have you ever wondered why your dog chooses to lie on your shirt or curl up on your shoes you left by the door? Amid all the comfy places, it picks the old sweater you changed out of, or the corner of the couch you always sit in. You might laugh. Why there? There's better cushions. But to it, that's a ritual of love. For dogs, scent is memory. It is the first language they learn of this world. And among thousands of scents, they know yours is unique, the scent of home, peace, and gratitude. When it lies on your shirt, it means it's seeking the safety that scent brings. It's not just looking for warmth, it's saying, "I miss you. I am grateful you exist in my life." Behavior studies show that the owner's scent can lower a dog's heart rate and stress levels, similar to how we feel calm listening to a familiar song. When you're away, that old shirt becomes an invisible bridge, helping them feel you are still there. And if you watch carefully, you'll notice they often do this after you have been kind to them, after a walk, a good meal, or simply a peaceful day. By lying on your scented item, they are prolonging the good feeling you gave them just a little longer. Because for dogs, thank you isn't a spoken word. It's how they hold your scent. Close inhale deeply and sleep peacefully, as if in their small world, you are the safest place to come home to. And sometimes that gratitude doesn't just show through actions or scent, but lies deeper in their ability to feel your emotion even when you haven't spoken a word. Part 10. The Emotional Radar. There are days when you don't say anything. No laugh, no cry, you just sit quietly, your eyes staring into some empty space. You think you've hidden your sadness, but then a soft footstep emerges. Not loud, not hurried. Your dog comes over, places its head gently on your knee, or just leans its head on your hand. You didn't call for it, you didn't signal, but it knows. No one understands why dogs sense that so clearly. Scientists can talk about breath, heart rate, sense of stress hormones when humans are sad. But perhaps there are things that cannot be measured, because between you and it there is an invisible thread where emotions touch without words. When you tremble inside, it comes closer. When you are quiet for too long, it breathes softly and steadily beside you as if lending you its calm. It doesn't try to fix your sadness. It simply stays there, at the exact place you need at the exact moment you have no voice left. Some veterans have said, "I didn't realize I was falling apart until my dog laid its head on my hand." An older widow said, "I thought I was completely alone until it walked over, sat next to me, said nothing, yet my heart felt warmed." Dogs sense what we try to hide, and each time it steps over, lightly touches, quietly lies beside you, each time it says, "I am here. Don't fear. I know you are hurting, and thank you for being with me." That isn't instinct alone. That is love forged through time, turned into a wondrous sense, an emotional radar that only a truly loving heart could possess. And when you look up, catch its eyes, clear, gentle, full of empathy, you'll realize it's not just saying, "Thank you." It's saying, "You saved me, and now let me save you." 10 ways dogs say thank you. Simple to hear, but behind each action lies a world of love and loyalty. An old toy, a gentle lick after dinner, a slow blink, a soft nose touch, or the way it leans by your side. All are thank yous with no words spoken by the small, sincere heart of a dog. They don't know how to write letters or say grand words. They don't need to, because every day in their own way they whisper, "Thank you for letting me be part of your world." And if you ever feel life is too heavy, just look into their eyes. You will see gratitude can be that simple, just a gaze, a breath, a presence. You are not just their owner. You are their family, the center of their whole little universe. And sometimes you believe you rescued a dog, but in truth it is quietly rescuing your heart day by day. If you've ever recognized that, if you have ever looked at your dog and smiled because you felt loved, then share your story in the comments, because maybe your story will make someone else smile on a sad day. And if you'd like to hear more beautiful stories like this about love, loyalty, and the bond between humans and dogs, stay with us, because in the next videos you'll see sometimes just one dog is enough to make a life less lonely.